there, I'm a fellow barbecue enthusiast. Mike Baker here, Baker's Barbecue. Hey, today we got the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco all fired up and smoking. Got a little bit of cherry wood in there. We got 2 sides of St. Louis cut ribs in there as well. Out here enjoying the pool. As you can see, I got me a crowd back here behind me floating in the water. And we're going to do some test cooks. I actually got the Baker's Barbecue samples back from my co-packer, and so I'm going to do doing some test cooks on that to kind of see how that's going. But mainly, we're just having a good time, hanging out, cooking these ribs, and just having a good time. So what I've got is I got one side of ribs shook down. Actually, one side of ribs has got zesty Italian dressing as a binder, and the other one has mustard as a binder, and both of them are shook down in Baker's Barbecue competition style rub. So we're going to get this thing fired up, get to going, have a good time, get out here, enjoy the sun. Let's get to smoking. All right, so let's get these beautiful ribs on. Like I said earlier, St. Louis style cut spare ribs. Shook down, I got one that's got a binder of zesty Italian dressing. The other one has a binder of mustard. And I've shook it down in my own Baker's Barbecue competition rub. Like I said earlier, doing a test cook today. So for one of the beta samples from the co-packer. So let's get these ribs on. All right, that one right there is going to be the one with zesty Italian dressing on it. They kind of smooth back out there. Have to kind of straighten them up, like I said before. How you put them in here is how they're going to cook. This one here is Baker's Barbecue with a mustard binder. I'm gonna have room for my trimmings in here. Find me a little spot there if I can. Tell you what, it's gonna be tight. I might should have just left the trimmings out of here, but we'll see. Don't work out, I'll take them off later. All right, so we're at the 3-hour mark. I'm just going to open it up, take a quick look at these ribs. I want to kind of see how the bark's doing. I want to see how the color's looking on them, see if it's time to spritz them, that kind of thing. And I'll probably also rotate the rack around, because in these barrel smokers, believe it or not, you have warm spots and you have cool spots. So let's take a quick look at it. Ooh, looking good. Bark is still not set up. See how it's coming off my finger? And I'm gonna rotate this around. Whoops, I'm gonna go this other way. Easier for my wire, for my tent. Put that one down to that end there for a little bit. All right, looking good. So I might wait another 30 minutes or so, and I'll probably come back out here and do some spritzing. So let's get it shut back down, and we'll be back here to look at it about another 30 minutes or an hour. I may or may not show you that, just depending on how it's looking. So we'll be back here in a little while. Keep on smoking. Quick look, we're about the 3.5 hour mark, and it's only about 30 minutes this last time, but I want to take a quick look at this and just kind of see how the bark and stuff is doing. All right, so see it's starting to dry up a little bit there. See, it's not coming, whoops. It's not coming off, sorry about that. So I'm gonna give it a little spritz. Kind of get it real good and moist again. and I'll be back here in a little while and check it again, but it's looking really good. All right, we're about the 4.5 hour mark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at them. I think I'm gonna flip them and see how they're looking. I've also taken the trimmings earlier and I went ahead and wrapped those up in foil, and they're just setting in here. So let's take a quick look. Looking good. It was good and spritzed. Flip them over. Get the bottom of a good spritzing. Looking good, I tell you what. Making me hungry. All right, so let's let these things go for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or an hour. We'll be back here to check on them here shortly. They're looking really good though. All right, so I was going to tell you, you guys just saw me flip these ribs. I don't always flip my ribs. A lot of times, especially if I'm cooking on an indirect smoker with the firebox off to the side, or if it's off to the back like my big rotisserie, I don't flip those ribs typically. But in this barrel smoker, one thing I've noticed about this is this thing it maintains a lot of moisture inside the smoker. I've got the heat deflector out, but even so, it still maintains a lot of moisture inside this smoker. So I think what I like to do occasionally is to flip them inside this barrel smoker, Oklahoma Joe's Bronco, just to kind of help the bark on the meat side of the ribs. So that's why I did it. I don't always flip my ribs, but today I decided to do that. I've done that on a few other cooks. You've probably seen that on some of my old school spare rib cooks and so forth. So that's why I did it. So anyway, just thought I'd kind of clarify that and do it however you want to do it, but I'm going to see how it works out today. All right, so we're right at the 6 hour mark. I'm gonna open them up, take a look at them, and probably gonna flip them back over for about the last 30 minutes. Usually go about 6.5 hours on my ribs. Gonna give them a little bit of a spritz and see how they look. Definitely looking good. These bad boys flip back over. Yeah, those looking really good. Look at that. Give this side a little bit of a spritz. Toothpick back in so I know which is which. That's another thing too, you can take a toothpick, you can kind of start checking the tenderness of the meat. So it's starting to go in really easy. Starts going in like that, you know that's getting really close to being how you want it. So I think these are pretty much on the downside of being done, but I'm gonna let them go about another 30 minutes and just kind of help with that final touch. I always find 6.5 hours is kind of my magic number on ribs. All right, everybody, we got these ribs done. It's been a great day of cooking. Been 90 degrees outside, been sunny. I've had a fabulous time hanging out with the family, just having a good time today, doing what I love most as a hobby in my free time, and that's barbecue. So as you know, we have two sides of ribs. One of them has a mustard binder. The other one has a zesty Italian dressing binder. And both of them are shook down in my Baker's Barbecue competition rub, which is the signature rub I've had for a long time. It tastes phenomenal, and I'm working through the process now with my co-packer on making sure that they can fine-tune their process to be able to manufacture my recipe the way that I want it to be and the way it tastes like mine. So today, what I'm doing is going to do a taste test on that. Cook these ribs for approximately 6.5 hours. And when they got done, I let them rest for about 45 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do a taste test here real quick. First ones I'm going to taste are going to be the ones that were shook down and, or not shook down, but that had zesty Italian dressing. These ribs look phenomenal. Bring it over here and show you. See those ribs? Hopefully you can see that. Man, looking good. All right, let's get a little bite of these. Wow. I'm smiling right now because that rub is tasting like my rub. Phenomenal. I love it. And so I'm going to try one with the mustard base. The reason I'm trying both these different bases is because people use all kinds of stuff. So I want to kind of have a reference as to how my rub tastes with these different base options, because I use all kinds of bases as well when I'm doing my barbecue. So let me grab a rib here that is done in the mustard. Phenomenal looking rib. I am tickled. Love the color, love the texture, how it's looking. Take a little bite of this. Wow. I am absolutely pleased to death right now. It's been a long process. We've been working on this for a long time. It's crazy the science that goes behind trying to take your personal recipe, which is done in teaspoons or tablespoons, and be able to get that scaled up for commercial production, because it has to be converted to weight. So it changes everything up. And I've got a phenomenal food consultant, Steve Weathington, who I've been working with. Thank you, Steve, for all your hard work. We got a couple things we need to work through to get it fine-tuned. The only thing I could see at this point is a little bit more on making sure it's coming out of the bottle, shaking out of the bottle the way I want it to shake out of the bottle. So nothing major. Flavor is spot on. They cooked up spot on. I am extremely happy. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little journey with me as I work through this process and hopefully get this in the marketplace fairly soon. I really do appreciate each one of you guys. Thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for supporting Baker's Barbecue. And if you enjoyed this video, if you would, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and tell other people to do the same. So until I see you again, happy smoking.